Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to quickly show y'all how to edit a video in Premiere Pro as well as creating a lower third in using Photoshop. And so first I'm going to go ahead and create a new project, give it any name, and hit OK. Now as you can see, I've got some stock video there in Finder already kind of ready to go. Let me just bring the window in here. There we go. And I'm going to pull up the stock video that I've already got. And so in the new project, what you want to make sure about, let me just go back to Premiere Pro here, is you've got this sort of default layout here with this sort of import pane, the effects pane, your video, and the timeline. And if you don't have that, what you have to do is actually go up to the window menu at the top, which you can't see right now, and in workspaces you'll see all the different workspaces. Preferably you want the one that says all panels, which again is off screen right now, but that's the one you typically want, and it will go ahead and default to this view. So once you're in that view, you want to import all of your videos into this pane here, and you'll see that it'll start to import. There we go. So all three are in there. I just grabbed three stock videos that have nothing to do with one another, just for demonstration's sake. But what we're going to do is quickly just cut 10 segments out of these videos, add a little bit of a fade in, fade out effect, and some fade transitions, and then add the lower third. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this first one and drag it up here. Or what you can also do is just, well, I'm sorry, that just did all three. I'm just going to select the one. So I double click that, and if you want to kind of hear it, well, you can't hear it because I've got it in my headphones, but what you can do is, start playing it, you'll hear some sound. And so the video is kind of pretty constant throughout, not a whole lot changing there, nothing particularly more exciting than something else. So I'm just going to go and grab a random 10-second clip from within. So once you're ready and you know what part you want to start at, let's just say I want to start right there. I hit the I key, which means like in, and then you go ahead and do your play it as much as you can, and then you hit O for out, and that gives you your in point and your out point. Now, like I said, I'm going to do 10-second clips, so actually I'm going to have to drag this marker probably to the beginning because this isn't a very long clip, and I'm going to slowly start dragging this out. And as you can see, this side is the one you want to look at. It's the sort of counter of how much time the selected portion is. And so I'm going to bring it in just for demonstration's sake, just to show that the two are separate. This shows your overall time of the whole video, which is 7.3 seconds, 03 seconds. And then on this side is the selected amount. So I'm going to go ahead and take that all the way up to 10 seconds exactly. All right, and I'm going to take it from here and drag it in. And as you can see, it creates a little section. I'm going to zoom in there. It creates a little area in the timeline for the video you just dropped in, and it shows basically what's been added to the timeline there. So now the next step is to grab another 10-second clip from another video. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the bagpipes. Like I said, these are a little bit random. The whole clip is 10.08 seconds. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit in there. As you can see, it highlights the whole thing. And then I'm going to go all the way to the end and try to cut back a little bit to the 10-second mark and hit out, or O, sorry, on the keyboard. And then drop that in. Now, just to kind of show you, if you just wanted to grab the video, for instance, and not the audio, you would grab it from here, this little film strip icon here, and you drag that in. And as you can see, it's just the video there. But of course, we don't need that, so I'm going to delete it. So there's your random sort of 10-second. So now we have the brass band. Then you've got the bagpipes. Now I'm going to go to like a little hand drummer. Double click that. Shows up here. This whole clip is 29 seconds, so here I could really well demonstrate a random, 10 seconds in the middle of it. So I'm going to hit I there, and then O, and then drag that out until it's 10 seconds as well. Now again, the 10 seconds is just for demonstration's sake, to create a nice little 30-second video. What we want next is fade in, fade out effects. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the effects panel here, and you'll see that a bunch of stuff has popped up over here. So I'm going to make the pane a little bit smaller. A little bit larger so you can see it. And go to video transitions. Now there's a bunch of stuff you could do. I'm going to select dissolve, cross dissolve for the video in between videos. Cross dissolve here as well. Okay, so that first one worked a little bit differently, and I don't know why. Let me check it out. Okay, not sure what's going on there, but I'm going to go ahead and try that again and kind of drag it to the middle here. It's not working. What's going on? So for some reason, this won't let me completely, won't let me cross dissolve between the two videos, which is very frustrating right now. But I'm going to go ahead and drop it in anyway. It probably won't appear the way it's supposed to. And I'll have to look up why that's happening. But now the cross dissolve effect I'm going to put here. And as you can see there, it actually straddles the two videos, the thing that I dropped in. So when I expand this, well, now it won't even let me expand it. So I don't know. This is acting kind of funny for me right now. But to give you an idea of how that looks, you see it's now cross dissolved across the two videos. Let me see how this one appears. Okay, so this appeared to have the intended effect anyway. So, oh, I know why. It's because this video actually, these first two videos aren't very long, so they probably don't have many seconds to spare. So you can't really cross dissolve more than what it gives you. Otherwise, there's no more video on the 10-second clip to spare. So that makes sense. So if you have longer clips, then you would be able to actually straddle that and make it a longer transition as well. So I'm going to do the same here, going back. I'm going to collapse that menu, and I'm going to go over here to audio transition, crossfade. Now you have three different options you could choose from. I'm just going to do constant gain, and you're going to drop it here on the audio track. And I'm going to drop it here on this audio track. And again, it's not going to let me make it any larger than it is. There we go. So now you're crossfading the audio and the video. Now at the beginning and end of video, well, beginning I won't do anything, but at the end of the video, let's just say you want it to fade black and fade out. So since we're already in the audio transition, I'm just going to go ahead and drop that transition. Whenever you drop it to the end, it just fades to silent. And then on the video effects, video transitions, this one's a little bit different. We'll dip to black. And beauty of this is you can make this as long as you want. So I'm just going to make this a nice long transition there. And I'm going to hit spacebar. You can hit the play button here, or you can hit the spacebar to preview it. And there you go. If you're able to hear the audio, and I'll play the video after this, you would know that that's also fading to black. The audio is also fading out. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Now I'm going to open up Photoshop here. Now we're going to create like a lower third type of graphic to kind of drop into the video as well. Of course, it's got to be a transparent graphic. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop in some text here that just says like live at Herschel's bar or something like that. For these settings, I'm going to center it, make the text black so we can see it, or somewhat darker. There we go. I'm gonna make that huge so you can see it very clearly. Now, just a little FYI, this video is actually, it's 1080p. So the pixel dimensions for that, if you go over to the image menu and go to image size, it's actually 1920 by 1080. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and double that to 2160, so 3840 by 2160, which is double the resolution. And what that'll ensure is that the graphic looks a little more crisp when it's on screen. Hopefully your computer's working as well as mine today. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the background. I'm just gonna delete it completely. And then change this text to white. It's just something I like doing. And I'm gonna add a little bit of a black glow on it, just so it'll show. So this one's not so subtle, so I'm just gonna add that a little more subtle, the drop. And then what you wanna do is go to File, Export, Export As. Now when this comes up, you wanna make sure that PNG is selected. You do have transparency on. And if you want, you know, a smaller file size, if it's not too complex. If it is, you definitely don't want to use that. So you know what, I'm not even going to use it. So we just export it as is. I'm going to export it to the stock video folder just to keep everything in one place. And I'm just going to call it lower third. Save it. Now I'm going to go back to Premiere Pro and into Finder. And we'll do the same thing that we did earlier. We'll drop it into this pane so we have it. And you'll see it shows up right there. But now what we'll do is we'll drop it into the video track that's right above the regular video track. So as you can see, I have the main video track here, and I'm gonna add it to the video track right above it. And the reason you want it above it is because obviously you want the lower third to appear on top of the video. So just so you know what I'm talking about. Oh, one more thing. Because we made this double size, we actually have to go over here to the scale. So whenever you select the image, the track that we just dropped in, you're gonna have to scale this to 50% because of the dimensions we used. So there you go, see it popped up now over the video. So going back to my point, if you were to, let's just say, take this video and put it over, now you don't see it anymore because now the graphic is actually behind the video. So what I'm going to do is change that back, and so now it disappears above. Now as you can see, it doesn't actually, it only stops here at around the 5-second mark, so you'll see it disappears there. So what we want to do is obviously drag that out all the way. And then just like the video itself, you want to dip this to black as well. That way it dips to black like the rest of the video. So you'll see here, if I hit space, it all goes away together. So now that the video is finished, obviously the last step here is to save it. So we're gonna go over to File, and sorry for that being cut off. We're gonna go to File, Export, Media. Make sure that H.264 is selected. That's just the settings I use. And then I'm just gonna cut it down just to make this a little quicker. Cut down the frame rate to 24 frames. And you wanna select where you wanna save the video as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and save it to desktop, save it, and export. It's gonna do its thing. It'll be pretty quick. And there you have it. The video will be here, ready to view. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys have any questions or more detailed explanations of things that you may need, don't hesitate to comment in the comment section. Thank you.